Most people think horse racing is just crazy gambling, but actually, when you trade horse racing, it is possible to profit without even needing to pick the winner. And this video will cover some of the very best and most profitable strategies for trading horse racing in running, and this includes real-life trading demonstrations taken from the Betfair Exchange. If this sounds interesting to you, go grab a nice cold beer, maybe even order a pizza, and let's get into it. So assuming you've got your nice cold beer and your tasty snack, I'm going to run over the strategies we will be covering in this video today. So this is racing trading in running trading only. We're going to be starting with back to lay, then I'm going to be covering lay to back, and then we're also going to be looking at the dobbing strategies. These are some of the most common and also profitable strategies that many racing traders use on the in-running market. So if these strategies sound familiar to you, or these are strategies you want to learn, you are in the right place. And we will be starting with back to lay. So I'm going to dive right into the concept behind back to lay trading, but I'm sure many of you might know it already. You're going to be backing the horse at higher odds, wait for the price to drop in running, and then you're going to lay at lower odds and obviously lock in a profit due to the price difference. So very, very simple concept, but the first thing to know and the first thing to try and understand with regards to back to lay trading on the horse racing is, why do the prices drop in running? So why do the prices drop? And what you're going to be looking for is horses that travel strongly, horses that just basically look good and look strong. That is often going to cause their price to drop in running, because obviously everyone's going to want to back that horse. If it's looking good, it's going to shorten the price and it might actually go on and win. But there are other things, such as a jockey looking comfortable, a good race position, the momentum of the horse. Either way, the in-running markets react instantly to the perception, especially very, very early on in the race. So you just need a horse to look good early on in the race, and that can be enough to crash the price and for you to make your trade. So with regards to back to lay trading, we're not trying to pick winners, and this is where many people go wrong. They will look at a horse race and they will think, well, what horse is going to win? Let me try and trade the horse which I think is going to win. These are two totally different approaches. With back to lay trading, remember, we don't need to pick winners. We're not betting on the result. We're just trading the price movement, and you just basically need a horse to look good in the initial stages for you to capture your trade. And by the way, this strategy and many, many more are covered inside this book, the Racing Trading Playbook, where you get a complete map of the racing trading landscape. This strategy is covered, later back is covered, dobbing is covered, and many, many more. You're going to see which strategies actually make money, which ones look good but quietly lose, and how to choose a trading style that fits you within the racing market. So you're no longer guessing. You can pretty much just plug in to the proven approaches and start stacking some small wins immediately with this book. And so, as said, it's the Racing Trading Playbook. The link to get this book is in the description of this video, or you can scan the QR code to get a copy also. And by the way, if you do it today, it's absolutely free. So you've got absolutely nothing to lose by just going right now to get a copy of it, and that will be emailed to you right away. But anyway, let's take a look at the strategy flow with regards to back to lay trading. So you're pretty much, your first step is you need to find your target horse. Got a bit of information coming up on that shortly. Once you've found your target horse, you're going to place your back bet. You're then going to place your target lay bet. Also, you're going to place this before the race, and you're going to decide on how much profit you're aiming for, whether you're aiming to take 10% profit out of this horse, 20%, 25%, 30%, 40%, 50%. That is obviously going to depend on how you as the trader feel about the actual race itself and about the trade overall. But you're going to place that target lay bet. It's going to be in the market, and obviously you're going to lay and secure the profit. There is also that option to exit if your horse starts to run badly. That's not always going to be possible. In some races, if your horse starts to run badly, that price can just shoot up and drift off, and it's going to be very, very hard to get out. So that's something to keep in mind. But if you do have software and you've got the one-click options on, and you can spot that your horse just isn't running how you like it, then there is usually opportunity to exit and get out and salvage some of your stake. But at the same time, with back to lay trading, a lot of traders will enter the market knowing that there could be a chance that your stake will not be salvaged and your whole stake could be at risk. Not ideally, but it will happen. So anyway, that's the thought behind the strategy. And then obviously once you're in the markets, those odds can fall fast. If everything goes correctly, you could see your horse move from odds of say 8.0 into 6.0 within seconds. And this is the huge opportunity with regards to back to lay trading. If you've picked a strong horse, you could be in profit within the first 30 seconds of the race. You could be in profit within the first 10 seconds. So as mentioned, if you are trading a back to lay in running, it could be a case of you see that horse bolt out. If you hit your profit target straight away, great. If you don't, then look to exit, and then you could look to salvage your stake. That's kind of the idea with back to lay trading. But anyway, as said, you've got to find your target horse, and you're going to have to do your research to find that target horse. You ideally want to look for strong runners, not outsiders. So you want a horse which is probably not the favorite, but also not a long shot at the same time. And you want horses, obviously, that are looking to travel well. You want to back horses where the odds have room to drop. This is also pretty key to this. So if you can do your research, find a pretty strong horse, but that horse is already odds on, not really an opportunity. You want a horse in a higher odds range, but you definitely don't want a horse that is a outsider that's priced above 20 to 1 or higher. So that's something to keep in mind. You obviously want to look for good jockeys also that can control the horses pretty well. But generally, with regards to research, you can often research this pretty quickly. There's a lot of resources and databases available on the web. We're not going to get into that today, but it usually will take just a couple of minutes per race to do your research and find your target horse. But just keep in mind that one of the key things is the odds range. If there's no price movement or no potential price movement, there is going to be no trade. And the bottom line is that primarily when you are looking for a target horse, you're probably going to be looking for a front running horse. And what we mean by a front running horse, that's a horse very likely to go right to the front at the start of the race. However, these days you do want to look for a front running horse alongside all the other criteria we just mentioned on the previous slide. These days, the markets are a lot more mature than they were, say, 10 years ago. Looking for a horse that's just going to be a front runner on its own, probably not enough, because other people and other traders also know that that horse is going to be a front runner. So if everyone's backing it, then it's going to be hard to find value, isn't it? So you've got to look for horses which are definitely going to be front running. That's always a big help, but you want to find the other criteria also to support your trade, and at the same time, as mentioned, needs to be in a good solid odds range. So as said, you want to decide on your target profit also, which is going to be impacted by the strength of the horse, but also the field size. One thing we often say is a small field, small expectations. So in a small field, you might just want to go for a small profit, such as 10%. In a larger field, you might be more ambitious and go for a bigger profit. The price of the horse is important also. If you are going to go for a shorter priced horse, which is maybe 3 to 1 or 4 to 1, then you might want to go for a smaller profit also. If you're going for a bigger price, then you might want to be more ambitious with the profit that you try and go for. The length of the race is key also. If it's projected to be a short race, probably want to look for a small profit. If you've got a long race, then again, you can be a little bit more ambitious. But your target profit should be decided before the race. This is down to you as the trader. How much profit are you trying to take out of this horse? 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, etc., etc. This is down to you, and you will place that lay bet ideally before the race. As said, we've got real life trading demonstrations coming up, which will show you this in full. So anyway, what happens next once everything's in the market is that ideally, you're going to have your lay bet in the profit's going to be locked in the early stages of the race. You're going to get that same result regardless of the outcome of the race, and there's no need for your horse to go on and win or for anything to happen after that. It can go wrong if your horse starts slow, gets under pressure early, there's no clear movement, there is illiquid markets, and sometimes a bad start can mean a dead trade. And this is why I did mention earlier on that if you've got some software, because it's going to be very hard to exit on the Betfair interface, but if you're using software, you can often detect this quite early, one click and exit, and you can salvage your stake. And of course, this is just something to keep in mind with the type of profit that you're looking for. If you're looking for 10% profit, is it worth risking your whole stake for 10% profit? Some people would say no, some people are absolutely fine with it. Is it worth risking your whole stake for a 50% return? A lot more people would be a lot more accepting of that. But anyway, you have to find the balance. There's no one size fits all with regards to back to lay trading. But anyway, it's time to get into some real life trading demonstrations of back to lay trading recorded on the Betfair Exchange for you to see for yourself. But before we get into that, it would be great if you could click the like button. If you do like videos like this and you want YouTube to send you more videos like this in the future, click the like button. Also, if you like videos like this, you should probably hit the subscribe button and that notification bell so you never miss a future video. Anyway, let's dive into it now. Let's get into some real life trading demonstrations of the back to lay strategy. So we're all set up on this horse, Penzance. Okay, so we backed it around 10. Annoyingly drifted as soon as we backed it. That will happen. Anyway,
and they're often racing.
Anyway, we're aiming for 20% back to lay. Let's see what happens.
Handicap. Last year's winner, Penzance the Grey, is keen to try and get to the front under Billy Locknow.
So he's trying to go straight to the front. Let's see what happens.
They're keen to cover that position and is in front from Penzance. Within third place, the Glen Rovers in the black and white colours, out wider Kital in the blue and the light green. Then comes Stormcatcher, who's won here 4 times in the yellow and blue hoop jacket and the yellow and purple of Dark Moon Rising at the back of the field. They've gone pretty...
So he's in there second, Penzance. Didn't quite go to the front.
Leads under Asheen Murphy. Can be a free-going horse. Respond. Is pretty keen again. Goes on by about 3 lengths to Penzance, another prolific course winner here in second place. Under the guidance of Billy Locknow in third place, the Glen Rovers and Sean Dillon Bowen, out wider Kital for Callum Shepherd. Stormcatcher, Jack Mitchell is next, and Dark Moon Rising.
So that's some of our stake there at 8.2. We've had some of it nibbled, well, majority of it nibbled away and now taken. We got our 20%. Let's see what happens from here.
Rising's got closer up on the outside with Stormcatcher, and the Glen Rovers is up against the rail. So Respond leading as they now enter the final half mile. Penzance in second place, then comes Kital in third. The Glen Rovers.
So there's our Penzance horse in second. Looks like he's just about to be overtaken. So anyway, let's see how this one finishes.
Longs to go, then a bit more tightly grouped now. Respond leads by just over a length, beginning to swing towards home. From in second place, Kital. Penzance is next. Then Dark Moon Rising, followed by Stormcatcher and the Glen Rovers into the straight then, and they have just under 2 furlongs to go. Respond in the lead still, being...
It's looking like this horse Respond is heavily odds on.
Dark Moon Rising is trying to pick up then.
Penzance out of it.
Respond still in control, well inside the final furlong, being chased by Dark Moon Rising and Penzance. They won't catch Respond, who looks classy in front under Asheen Murphy. Comfortable win for Respond. Close second, Dark Moon Rising, with Penzance in behind, and then came Kital.
So the horse we were looking at, Penzance, finished third in the end, and it's important to look at the charts and get a good idea of how this horse performed if we look at the in-play before it obviously went off. So we can see the shortening of it went pretty much, I mean, probably, hold on, let's move this around. So it went as low as 5.8 in this one. We can get an idea of how much money was matched at 5.8 if I can move this, or if I can't move it. Hold on, let's close this off. Okay, so we move it down to 5.8, so it's like £1 was traded around there, and yeah, went down to comfortably around 7. So obviously our order was around 8.2. So yeah, it was a good choice. I mean, look, this race had an odds-on favourite. So when there is an odds-on favourite, you're probably not going to go for a double or bust sort of trade. You probably just look for a back to lay, where you're just looking to take 20%, 30%, 40%, out of the horse, and they don't have to run that good. Okay, so anyway, just an example for you. There's so many different ways of doing the back to lay, and of course you can obviously set your stop loss when you're using the software, for example. So we're looking at this one from Newcastle. It's a pretty small field, and we always say small field, small expectations, but this horse here, Enter Sandman, this is looking good based on the research. So anyway, once they start to load, we'll be getting set up. So they're loading up on this one. We backed Enter Sandman at 6. We're aiming for a 33% profit on this one. A back to lay, Enter Sandman number 4. So that's the one to look out for. Still loading. And actually, I think they're about to go off.
Racing over 5 furlongs with a bet £10, get £40 with BetMGM handicap stakes. Fast start from Contorno from stall 6, also breaking well. Havana Jag, tucked in behind them near side Mr. Moe in the pale blue and red, followed through on the far side by Mystical Land, the purple jacket with the cream striped sleeves. Enter Sandman sits back in the field with the black cap, and also towards the rear of the field is Mademoiselle Belle as they travel through the first couple of furlongs at pace. Contorno and Callum Rodriguez to the near side, Havana Jag and Jason Hart to the far side. Shaken up behind them, Mr. Moe for Kieran O'Neill, and on the far side, Mystical Land and Sean Kiran. Enter Sandman trying to pick up for George Wood to the near side. Mademoiselle Belle at the back for Ben Robinson over on the far side, but trying to finish. It's Havana Jag and Jason.
So it's a bit of a slow start from Enter Sandman, but looks like we're going to get there in the end.
It's Enter Sandman still coming with Mr.
Be interesting to see how this one finishes. This is Enter Sandman here.
On they go, Contorno battling back, retakes the lead. Contorno in front as they go towards the line. Mr. Moe is blasting home. Contorno got there to Mr. Moe, tight behind. Enter Sandman ran on near side, over on the far side. Mademoiselle Belle was finishing well. Havana Jag just in behind them, and so too Mystical Land.
So yeah, a bit of a crazy finish to that one. But anyway, look, for us, we got our trade match on Enter Sandman. I don't think Enter Sandman placed in the end, did he? But let's have a look at the chart and see how low Enter Sandman went. So went as low as 4, and if we can see our bets, there it was. So back at 6 and a lay at 4.5. So anyway, look, we made it out with that 33%. There wasn't really much more. It only went as low as 4 after that, but that's how it can go with back to lay trades. As I said, this is a small field, small expectations, and that's kind of the idea when you're getting involved with back to lay trades. It's down to you as the trader to decide on what your profit target is. Okay, you obviously want to have you want to make a decent profit, don't you? But at the same time, you don't want to push it too far and try and make too much profit, and that horse just doesn't shorten into it. But obviously you're going to decide on that based on how the field looks, based on how the course looks, and based on the information you have on the particular horse you're getting involved in. Anyway, look, you got this one, and we got out with a 33% return. So we've got more examples of this coming up, but a quick question for you. Have you tried the back to lay strategy yourself, and have you had much luck with it? I do know there's quite a lot of people always asking about this strategy. Some say that they've tried it, hasn't really worked out for them. Some absolutely swear by it. Either way, leave a comment below. It would be great to know just how much and how well you get on with this particular strategy. And by the way, this strategy and many, many more are covered inside the Racing Trading Playbook. If you get this playbook, you're going to discover every single strategy, and you'll see the strategies that are working at the moment. You'll also learn about the strategies which aren't quite working, and you can decide for yourself which racing strategy you want to pursue further, if any. Either way, the link is in the description of the video. You can also just scan the QR code, which is going to be on the screen for the rest of the video, and put in your email address, and this book will be emailed to you. And if you do it today, the book will be emailed to you for absolutely free. And by the time the video is done, you can be checking this out. So you can discover every single strategy inside that playbook. Anyway, let's dive back into it, and let's get into some more real life trading demonstrations. We're going to do a back to lay trade on this race from Wolverhampton, but we're going to do it slightly different from the other examples you might have seen. So we're going to do a back to lay trade on this horse, Golden Muse, which is a clear favourite. And we're going to use software because we're going to be backing Golden Muse very close to the off, and we are going to be searching for our profit target, but also we want to use the software to one click and get out should our potential stop loss be hit. So anyway, we're going to get set up. So lots going on here. We're just about to go off on this one. So we're back in Golden Muse, and been a bit of a drift, just even in the time we've backed it, which is very annoying. But we're looking to get 25% out of this one. If it drifts out to a 30% or a 40% loss, or just in that range, we will press this button and then exit out. But ideally, we want to just hit that profit before we hit our stop loss. Anyway, I think they're ready to go on this one.
They're off and racing.
This
Jumping
event
our
is
open
now
at the
in
Join the
play.
Midnight Movement restricted novice over 1 mile, 1.5 furlongs on the inside ocean.
So Golden Muse is the front runner as we fought, and yeah, we got matched very, very quickly there. So that was interesting.
In the
So
hands of Holly.
you can see there, if you can see the pictures, Golden Muse gone right to the front. It was a very, very textbook trade. And obviously there was a bit of a drift. If you play the take back, you'll see there was a drift on Golden Muse before the off, which obviously spooks a lot of people when there is a big drift. But we still knew that Golden Muse expected to be the front runner in this one, so should be a shortening of the price. Anyway, let's keep a close eye on these prices just to see how this race develops a little bit. 6 and 3 at the front two.
Eddie's is in third, running just in advance of Philly Eilish, who also finished third on her debut. That was at Southwell. Final pair, a Difford Girl, and just about last of all, Probation at the moment, Grace McEntee, although moving back up sides Difford Girl at this point. Going to the final 5. Golden.
So the market's really liking Battle Him. This is why it's really worth just watching these videos, studying the markets, watching the movement and getting used to it. But look, Battle Him is currently second, but was a shorter price. Anyway, looks like it's flip-flopping. Let's see how this one finishes. Going to be interesting.
Is last. Final 3 furlongs. Golden Muse has got plenty on the stretch now in behind. Battle Him is coming under increasing amounts of pressure. Philly Eilish looking to squeeze through. Probation looking to run on. Golden Muse, Holly Doyle off the front end, and now starting to kick on a bit. 2 lengths clear as
Golden Muse looks like it's going to win it. So let's see how it finishes.
Battle Hymn's got no more. Probation never quite getting to them, and Golden Muse is pouring it on up top inside the final furlong from the sharp end and is coming right away. Golden Muse will be off of the mark at the second attempt readily. To beat Philly Eilish in second, Probation, Promise stayed on for third, and fourth, Battle
This
Hymn.
event has been suspended.
So in the end, Golden Muse, comfortable winner. So it's definitely worth playing this video back. You'll see how the markets developed. Golden Muse was obviously close to evens. Big drift before the off. Anyway, we were on a back to lay trade. We got the back to lay very quickly. Perfect. That was fine. But this was a very interesting race just generally because of the big drift before the off, the shortening of the price. I think it was Battle Him and Probation shortened dramatically, which a lot of people will always think, well, that must be inside money. There must be something wrong with the favourite if it's drifting by that much. Very often, there's nothing wrong at all. If you backed Golden Muse, what was it, 2-1, that would have been a very nice price when you consider just how well Golden Muse won. That was not just like he just sneaked through at the last second or something like that. Won by a very wide margin, wasn't it, at the end? Anyway, yeah, interesting race for our back to lay trade, and just an interesting race just for the racing markets in general. One to watch again, I'd say. And just to close this away, and we can have a look at just for those who want to see the Betfair interface and want to see how it looks on there, because obviously this is easier to understand. So as we saw, 2.38 lay, 2.98 back, 2.38 lay. Nice quick trade and an easy win for Golden Muse in the end. So we're looking at doing a back to lay trade on this race from Wolverhampton, 6 furlongs handicap. They're loading up the horses. We like the look of this one, Boson. So I'm going to get set up on this. So they're almost all loaded. So we're going to go for a 40% profit on this one. It's a back to lay on Boson. We're trying to get 40% out. It's 6 furlongs, so it's going to be a very quick race. Anyway, they're loading up 2 or 3 or more horses to go, and then we're going to see how this one goes.
Ready. They're off and racing. Sprinting away over 6 furlongs, the Create Your Bet builders at Midnight Handicap. Boson, as usual, got a very smart start down on the inside.
So good start by Boson, that's what we wanted.
Short Blue is very keen in the orange, a bit wider. MJK
Into 4.6, we're very, very close on Boson.
is very keen yet to settle in the yellow and blue. William Carson's having a torrid time, barging with MJK. Secret Handshake down the order, Silky Robbins on the inside, then comes Trust Sergei, drafted and also in suspense. It's at the back of the field as Boson will lead them to the halfway stage. Boson by 3 parts. Initial Blue running second, Macaron in third and Just Jump.
So here we are at 4.3 and we're taken and we've got our 40% in. Boson at the front as expected. Let's see if Boson can win from here. Let's see what happens.
Boson is still the one to catch inside the 2. Boson by a length and a half. Initial Blue ridden along. Macaron is still there. Silky Robin looks to stay on, then Just Jump and Trust Sergei heading to the final furlong. Boson remains in advance of the field. Initial Blue is second, then Macaron in suspense is staying on. It is going to be a stunning 7-timer for Boson, who will see them off. Boson in suspense. Running down fast down the outside for second. Initial Blue and Trust Sergei is in behind. What a performance and what a start.
So good call on Boson. I mean, we backed it for a back to lay, thought it was going to be a front runner, and then that might be it. But yeah, in the end, it went on to win. Now, interestingly, I mean, if you look at the final stages of that race, you can see that the other horses 2 and 5 we're actually starting to catch up with Boson. So you would think, look, this was 6 furlongs, very short race, but if this was even 7 furlongs, then Boson could have been pipped. But anyway, that can very often happen. Front runner gets to the front and just about hangs on. So look, Boson, we made our 40% profit very early on in this, and it went on to win. We can have a look at the chart. Let's have a look at the chart. That was very, very straightforward, wasn't it? Okay, so yeah, very straightforward. Back Boson right into 1.01. So anyway, good back to lay trade there. Good information, obviously, to let us know that this was going to be a front runner, and it was a very smooth trade. And in hindsight, maybe we shouldn't have traded at all. Anyway, we're out with a 40% profit on this back to lay trade. So with later back racing trading, the concept is pretty simple, and it is, as it says on the tin, lay the horse at low odds, wait for the price to drift in running, back it at higher odds, and lock in a profit from the price difference. So later back, it's the opposite of back to lay, and there's many who say that later back just feels that little bit safer for some. Whether that's true or not, we're going to investigate more as this video develops. But with later back, instead of just looking for a horse which is going to stand out from the crowd, we just need to find a horse which is just going to struggle, which, as said, seems a little bit easier, isn't it? So we're not looking for a horse which is going to start to win and look really good. We just need a horse which is going to struggle a little bit, going to get a drift in price, and we can lock in that trade. Now, one thing to keep in mind with later back, which is a huge difference compared to back to lay, is that there are going to be high liabilities, and discipline is very, very important. When you enter a back to lay trade, the most you could lose is the stake you enter with. When you enter a later back trade, you're going to have liabilities which could be many multiples of your stake, which, as said, is why discipline is important, and exiting before things get volatile is absolutely crucial. So why do prices drift in running? It's important to understand this before you do a later back trade. If you can find a horse which is going to start at the back of the field, very, very good chance you're going to have a successful later back trade. If that horse is dead last, right at the start of the race, then very likely that price is going to drift on that horse and you can capture a trade. But there are other things. If you can find a horse where the jockey just starts to struggle or doesn't look confident in the early stages of the race, that will cause a drift. Ironically, the crazy part of this is that sometimes a horse racing right to the front, racing keenly as they say, can actually cause a drift also. If it's running a little bit too fast, then the markets will anticipate that that horse is going to run out of steam, and the price can drift just because of that. That's not what we're going to look for, of course, but this is just another reason why prices can drift. And bottom line is just other horses looking better. So let's just say we've entered with a lay bet on a particular horse. There's one other horse which just goes right to the front looking really good. Jockey's looking confident. All the money's going to come in for that horse, which will push the other prices out. perfect if you're on a lay to back trade. And like other in-running trading strategies, the market reacts initially to perception. It's all about the perception. So we just want that horse to just not look good in the beginning of the race. That will be enough to make it drift. Okay. So keep in mind, when you're on a lay to back trade, it's not a lay to say, hey, this horse is not going to win, let's trade it. It's just to say that it's probably going to have some market doubt. We can capture a drift and then we can get out. Okay. So this strategy and many, many more are actually covered in this book here, the Racing Trading Playbook, and you can discover every single racing strategy, all the ones that are working very, very well at the moment. You can check them all out. They're all covered within this book, and you get a complete map of the racing trading landscape. It's full of real life examples. And if you want a copy of this book, link is in the description of this video, or scan the QR code. Scanning the QR code is the easy way. You can just enter your details and you'll get that book delivered to you by the time this video is done. And by the way, the book is absolutely free if you get it today. So head over and get that locked in. Don't miss out on it. So let's look at the strategy flow of a lay to back trade. So you're going to do your research. You're going to find your target horse. You're going to enter before the race starts with a lay bet. You're going to place your target back bet, which is obviously going to be for your target profit. And you're going to look to secure your profit in the early stages. Otherwise, you're going to exit if that horse runs better than expected. So you really, ideally, with a later back, want to secure your profit early stages of the race. And we're talking the first 30 seconds, the first minute, because you don't want to be around when it starts to potentially get volatile. As said, you've got big liabilities in the market. And if you start to hang around towards the business end, trying to get your 10% or 20% profit locked in, meanwhile you're risking 500% or 600%, then you are just recklessly gambling by that point, aren't you? So ideally, you just want to look for your horse to struggle in the beginning of the race. First 30 seconds, you're out with a nice profit and you're done. As said, we've got real life trading demonstrations coming up of this. But anyway, as said, lock in profits early, avoid the business end of the race, and use your trading judgment. This part is a skill, and later back trading and most racing trading in general is a skill. It's a skill-based thing. So you've got to be in that market. You're going to be watching your horse closely, and you have to decide very early on, do I exit? Do I maybe take a smaller profit? Do I hang in for my target profit? Or is this going completely against me and I've got to exit for a loss at this particular point? There's a lot of decisions to make, but as said, first 30 seconds, maybe the first minute of the race, and you got to make that decision. Okay, we don't really want to be hanging around till 3-4 minutes deep into the race before you start to try and get out, right? So anyway, the bottom line is, if your horse does struggle, the odds can drift fast, and you could be laying a horse at 4. It could just drift out to 6 within seconds. It could be one of the dodgy jumps. It could not jump well. That could be enough to just push it from 4 out to 6 within seconds. It can still recover after that, but that's enough for you to make your trade. And this is the opportunity. This is why we also say to have your order into the market, because these prices bounce around, and it's not really the type of trade where you can just enter with delay, think, well, let me assess how it goes. Oh, okay, let me try and exit now, because you've got to have that order in the market ready to be taken instantly, because there's just so much carnage. So anyway, when you are finding your target horse for a good later back, you ideally want to find horses likely to race at the back. You want odds that are not too high. You want the room to drift. So it's not as simple as, hey, let's lay a horse which is 50 to 1 and is an absolute donkey, because it's a big liability. And if that horse unexpectedly starts to run well, you've got a big liability against you. At the same time, you don't really want to lay too many favorites, although favorites can be actually some of the best opportunities, but you need to be really confident about taking on that favorite. Sometimes just the second favorite or the third favorite are actually the better opportunities. You also want horses that are prone to mistakes, and you want a competitive field. A competitive field is great, because if you lay a horse, another horse just looks good, that should be enough to push the price out on your target horse. So anyway, you also want to decide on your target profit. How much are you going for? 5% profit, 10% profit, 20%, 30%, 50%? Much of this is going to depend on the strength of the horse, the field size, the price of the horse also, and also the length of the race. The longer the race, potentially the more profit you can go for, and potentially the longer you can hang around, right? Anyway, once you're in the market, you're obviously going to lay that horse before the start of the race. You're going to put a back bet order into the market. Once that back bet is matched, it's great. Profit's locked in, same result regardless of the outcome, and no need for that horse to actually lose the race. When it goes wrong is when you've got to take some action, and when that horse can go to the front or just looks better than expected or just races steady, that's when it's time to exit. And we strongly suggest using software to exit, one-click trading software to exit. It's going to be very, very hard to exit on the Betfair interface. You want to have software available so you can see a bad start, or a bad start for your trade, probably a good start for the horse. But if it's a bad start to the trade, then you exit. And that could be something like the horse just going right to the front. That can often be enough to make the trade hard enough for you to want to realize to exit. It's probably not going to be enough to be an absolute disaster, which is why we strongly suggest just exiting in the early stages. But anyway, look, there's enough theory. Let's get into some real live trading demonstrations of some lay to back trades so you can see it all for yourself. Before we get into that, it would be great if you could click the like button. That will definitely help to support the channel. And while you're there, you should hit the subscribe button and the notification bell also. Anyway, let's dive into it. We've got some lay to back trades. So we're looking at this race from Limerick, and it's just about to go off actually. And we're looking at a lay to back on this horse here, Aishan. So I'm going to try and get this in the market if I can. Prices bouncing around all over the place. We're very, very close to the off as it stands. So we're going to get that in the market, and then we are going to try and look for to get matched in play. And so we're going to try and aim for 25%. They're very, very close to the off now. So let's just get this in and then press keep. And we're obviously going to monitor the early stages on this race. So let's come back right at the off.
2 3/4 miles, 14 fences to jump in this party time handicap steeplechase.
Okay, so we're underway, 2 miles, 7 furlongs. We're looking to get a drift on this one here, Aishan. So let's keep an eye on the prices.
Decision of the top weight under James Duggan. Leads by a couple of lengths. Nolan's Rocco with Ishan towards the outer in the cheek pieces, followed towards the inner by another O'Cana, who's in company with the mostly white jacket of Snow Punt. Next in the field then, races Tullabrack Lad in the striped sleeves with upside that one. The distinguishing blue cap of Smackwater Jack with the 2 Sneezy Foster runners. On the outside of that, the green and white of Decimation, followed towards the inner by Zolfarine in the pink sleeves. Upside that is the orange jacket of Mastermind, who's followed by God Help Us. As they come towards the first of the 14 fences, and it's a difficult decision. And James Duggan taking them along by a couple of lengths. As they come to the first of the 14 fences, leads by 2 to Nolan's Rocco, who's pulled its way through to be second. A slight mistake by the leader, but gets to the other side. 3 lengths then to Snow Punt, who races in third with Ishan 4 on that one's outside, followed then by another O'Cana, who's 5th on the inner of Smackwater Jack, followed over that by Tullabrack Lad.
Looks like we've had a little nibble on our order there of 3.7. So the drift looks like it's coming for Aishan. So far so good. Let's see what happens next.
Decimation was...
And it's fully taken. So there we have it. We've got 25% locked in over all the outcomes very, very quickly.
With Alish Lass as they jump that next fence.
And that was all done within, what, 1 minute, 30 seconds. So that's the thing, when you're getting involved with these lay to back trades or back to lay trades and you're in the markets, you want to keep an eye on that clock. You want your trade to ideally be done within that first minute, within that second minute, depending on the length of the race also. You don't really want to hang around too much till the business end because things can get very, very volatile. And obviously, if you're using this with software, it can be much easier, just one click to exit the market if it starts to go against you. But anyway, otherwise you can put in orders like we've done here.
With the orange jacket of Mastermind on the outside of that duo as they continue to run downhill is a hell of a man who's in front of God Help Us and Alish Lass with Rideau Canal on that one's outside. On the back 2.
And so the most interesting part about this trade is just to keep an eye on this horse, okay? So our one that we laid, Aishan, it's always worth seeing the market movement of this horse, even when we're out of the market. So obviously it drifted in price, and maybe we can bring up the chart without too much interference. Just keep an eye on this price. So we can see that it drifted out, and that's what we caught. We caught that early drift. We obviously had the information that it's going to have a bit of a slow start to this one. We caught that early drift. That was good enough for our trade. That was absolutely fine. But as said, this horse could, well, it's gone pretty much back to the starting price. It could easily go on and win it from here.
The penultimate time, and coming up towards the fence, which was the last in the circuit's time. And on the inside, on the outside, it's a difficult decision. On the inner is Nolan's Rocco. Not a lot to choose between the two. Again, all safely over 3 lengths.
And so now you can see this horse is starting to drift and probably starting to get into a little bit of trouble, okay? Could be a bit of a tricky final stages to the race for this horse. But anyway, look, for us, it doesn't matter. That's just another example of a later back. We had the information, slow start from this horse. We got involved. As said, you always got to be prepared to exit if it does start to go against you. But if your information's good and you can keep a close eye on it, then you try and stay in till you get matched. Anyway, look, just look again on Aishan. It's shortening in, so still could be competitive in the late stages here. Let's see what happens.
Ishan coming there, one from the rail on the outside.
So we're in the final stretch of this. You can't really see the pictures. The stream is messed up, but this horse, Aishan, has been heavily odds on. It's going to be an interesting finish to this.
5 lengths then back to Snow Punt, staying on in third at the second last. Ishan and Nolan's Rocco on the inside. Snow Punt.
It's Nolan's Rocco that's up there alongside Ishan, and it's a big battle. Look at this market. This is absolutely crazy. Flip-flopping back and forth. It looks like Nolan's Rocco is going to be the one to get this.
50. Snow Punt staying on strongly behind them, but it's Nolan's Rocco the leader. Snow Punt coming home one on the far side. Nolan's Rocco drifting towards the stand side, and it's going to be not close home by Snow Punt. It's close between them. In fact, Snow Punt and Nolan's Rocco put it up to the judge. Ishan was a close third, and they were clear of...
Well, you can't see it, but that's going to be a photo finish. This horse, Snow Punt, just came from nowhere and almost nicked it. I mean, let's have a look. Let's have a look while this is getting figured out. We want to get an idea on our horse. This was our original horse, Aishan. We can... All right, I'm going to just get rid of that now. We can see that went as low as 1.16 in running. So that's pretty crazy. And this horse, Nolan's Rocco, is up there. Let's have a look at this one, Snow Punt, which looked like the horse which was going to steal it. And that went as low as 1.25, and it could end up being the winning horse. Matched as high as 70 in play, and we've still got Nolan's Rocco, which is what the markets think is going to be the winner in this one, and that's gone as low as 1.02 in running, currently out to 1.45, and I guess that the race has been decided. But anyway, this is a good example, not just of the trade, but of how exciting some of these finishes can be in the horse racing market. It's absolute carnage. So dobbing is a very simple strategy, and here's the concept behind it. It is backing a horse at high odds, laying at half the back price, and then your profit is going to be double your stake. So you're entering this strategy to either double your stake or go bust, hence the DOB and the dobbing name for the strategy. So that's the concept behind it. It is obviously very similar to back to lay, and technically it is a back to lay strategy, but the big difference is that with dobbing, your aim is a 100% ROI as a minimum. So it is double or bust. Now, what you need with this particular strategy is a very good run from your target horse. With back to lay, we probably only need just a good start from our target horse. With dobbing, you need a very good run almost all the way with your target horse. We don't necessarily need it to win. We just need a very solid run from it. And also, there's typically no stop loss with this strategy. As said, it is double or bust. You're typically going to stay in and try and double your money. And if you don't double your money or double your stake, then it's very often too late to get out at that particular point. So there is typically no stop loss with people who do use this strategy. Now, anyway, look, if you are new to racing trading and you're wondering, well, why do the prices steam in running? There's quite a lot of reasons. And if we can find a horse that starts towards the front, if we can find a horse which is going to have a confident jockey, an experienced jockey, and if that jockey starts to look confident, then that can cause the prices to steam. Also, just generally the horse traveling well with, as I said, a confident jockey at the same time, that can cause a price steam. But generally for dobbing, this is the most important one. It's the horse being in the mix at the business end of the race. There used to be a time where dobbing was as simple as looking for a front runner. That could be enough for those odds to go in half. Not anymore. It probably still needs to be a front runner, but you're going to need all the other factors, with most importantly that horse being in the mix at the business end of the race. And just keep in mind, the racing markets, they react to perception more than anything. So keep in mind, with dobbing, we aren't looking for a horse to win. We don't need the horse to win. We are looking for horses that will be involved in the business end of the race. That's what we're looking for. So anyway, that is dobbing. And look, this strategy and many, many more are covered inside this book. If you don't have this book yet, I strongly suggest you get it. You're going to get a complete map of the racing trading landscape. It's going to show you exactly which racing trading strategies are actually making money at the moment. So instead of guessing, you can plug into the proven approaches and start stacking those small wins immediately. So you can check out all the strategies. It's backed up with loads of real life examples also, and you can see which strategy you like the look of and go from there. So anyway, click the link in the description if you want a copy of this book, or scan the QR code. And as it stands, if you go to that link today or scan that QR code today, the book is absolutely free. So you've got nothing to lose by getting a copy of it. You know where to find it. The QR code will be on the screen for when you need it. Anyway, let's look at the strategy flow with this one, step by step with dobbing. As said, it's a very, very simple strategy actually. You're just going to find your target horse. You're going to place your back bet. You're going to place a target lay bet at half the odds that you entered at. So if you entered at 10, you're going to lay at 5. If you entered at 9, you're going to lay at 4.5, and so on. As said, very simple to work out. And then you're going to secure your profit during the race. It's going to be a double or a bust. And here's a quick example of that, and also showing you how to stake it. If we're going to back a target horse with 100% of our stake at odds of 8, for example, you're going to lay that target horse with 200% of your stake at odds of 4. And if that's matched, you're going to have 100% profit across all the horses. And you're going to see some real life examples of this coming up very, very shortly, so you can see it before your very own eyes. But basically, when that horse runs well, the odds will steam, and it's just got to go from 8 into 4 to double the stake. Remember, we don't need that horse to win. If it can go from odds of 8 into 4 and then finish last place, that's absolutely fine. We're going to win no matter what, as long as our trade is matched. So when you're trying to find your target horse, as mentioned, you probably still want to try and find horses that are likely to be a front runner, but obviously they're going to need some stamina because we want them to be involved in the business end. You want to look for odds that are not too low, so they've got some room to steam. If you're going to back a horse which we think is going to be a front runner, but they're already priced at 2.0, not going to be able to dob on that. If they're even priced at, say, odds of 4, then for you to hit a dob, it's got to hit odds of 2.0, which means it's pretty much got to go odds on, and it's got to go very, very close to winning if it's going to go odds on. So again, would you want to take that horse, or would you want to just go into a higher price range where it's odds of 10 and it's just got to hit odds of 5? That part is obviously up to you, and it's up to you as the trader. A lot of traders who do a lot of dobbing will look for horses who have dobbed previously, which it can make a lot of sense to do this. However, you always need to take into account the type of races that they were in when they did do their dobbing, and is it a similar field to the race you're about to trade? Look at the price range that horse was in when it did dob. For example, if it did a dob when it was, say, priced at 16 and then it went into 8 on a previous race, yeah, that's great. But if this horse is now starting the race at odds of 6, is it going to run as good? Because it's obviously going to take a much better run to hit odds of 3 in running compared to odds of 8. So this is all stuff that you have to take into account. a lot of traders do love it. They like to look at horses that have dobbed previously. Maybe it's dobbed in 10 out of 10 of its last races, and they like to go for that. But there are nuances to this. Also, and this is quite interesting, it's always worth looking for a competitive field. And you might think this is a little bit counterintuitive. If it's competitive, it's going to be harder for that horse to stand out. But when it's competitive, it just means there's more chaos. There's more horses moving all over the place. Harder for a lot of the traders to keep track of it. And your horse might be one of the horses which trades lower. Your trade is taken and then it drifts out or something like that. So it's much better to go for the competitive fields than to go for the smaller fields where traders and the markets are just going to be a little bit more efficient. So anyway, once you found that target horse, as said, after that lay bet is matched in the race, nothing more to do. You're going to set everything before the race. So there's no action to take in running. As said, a lot of traders with dobbing don't use stop losses. So when it can go wrong with dobbing, this is obviously something you want to take into account. If your horse, your target horse, starts slowly, then that's obviously not going to be very, very good. You're going to need that horse to really pick up the pace. And as said, get involved in the business end. If the markets just don't believe, this can also be a bit of a factor, which a lot of people don't really talk about with regards to dobbing and back to lay trading. Sometimes your horse can look perfect on paper. It can run perfect also in the race, but the markets just don't believe. And we've got quite a few examples of this where the markets don't believe until the horse is actually at the business end and looking like it's going to win. So it just shows you how many different types of opportunities there are in the in-running markets. And also at the same time, too little, too late from your horse. If you back a horse which starts slowly, and then it does start to get involved in the business end, but there's already a horse which is just clear and obviously going to win, then yeah, you're not going to make your dob, even if it does finish maybe second place or third place. And that's obviously a bit of a misunderstanding for a lot of people also. They think, well, if I back a horse and it comes second or third, that would mean that it would have dobbed for sure. That doesn't quite work out like that in the real life markets. But anyway, based on all this, I think it's time to check out some real life trades with the dobbing strategy. And before we do that, if you're liking this video and you like all these sorts of videos, click that like button to support the channel and to potentially get more videos just like this recommended to you by the YouTube algorithm. While you're there, you should probably hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell also so you never miss a strategy video in the future. Let's dive into it right now. Real life examples of the dobbing strategy. We're getting close to the off on this one at Newcastle, and the horse we're liking the look of is this one here, Clansman. So we're going to wait till we're a little bit closer to the off, and then we will get set up. So we're all set up now, backing Clansman back to around 6.8-ish, and obviously we have our order, pretty much half that, 3.45 for the 200. So this is the horse we're watching, number 5, Clansman. Let's go.
Island 4.5 furlongs for the Midnight Next Generation Betting App Handicap Stakes. Good start from Clansman, the yellow sleeves, nose banded with the blue cap, also nose banded with the pink cap.
So we got the good start from Clansman. That's obviously what we anticipated. Now, are we going to make our trade? Let's see what happens. Let's hope this good start continues.
Taking a little bit of a grip under Greg Fairley. Behind those, THI to the inside in the purple and yellow is next in the field, followed through by Bruce Banner racing a little bit deeper in the maroon.
So that's our horse out right at the front. Remember, that's what we're looking for, the front runner.
And also in black and white stripes, Jack Sparrow just in front of him at the rear of the field. So through the first 3 furlongs or so, and it's Clansman who sets the pace as they head down the far side of the track, racing opposite the grandstands, in front by a couple of lengths to Fast Fred racing second. 3 parts back the inside is Boo Bool. Desert Quest behind those in 4th position, followed through by THI. Deeper of that one, Bruce Banner. A little gap behind to Jack Sparrow with the yellow cap, and Goldsby with the beige cap and the white cheek pieces at the back of the 8-runner field, and fully 12 to 15 off the pace, which is being set by Clansman and Billy Garrity as they continue their journey down the far side of the track. So back inside the final 6, so they're past halfway, and Clansman in front by a couple of lengths to Jack Sparrow racing second. Boo Bool continues to race close.
Clansman's still out in front. We're halfway, little bit of a drift in the price, so could be struggling a little bit to keep up that pace. Let's see what happens.
Still towards the back, and so too Goldsby, and not many have got into it so far as they begin the left-handed swing back towards the home straight. Clansman off the front, back towards the final 3.5 furlongs or so. 2 lengths to Fast Fred racing second. Babool's getting reminders in third. Desert Quest ranging up sides him. Bruce Banner is next in the field. Jack Sparrow going past THI towards the back. And
we're looking for it to hit 3.45. It's getting very, very, very close. Look at this. Look at this. Okay, we got it.
To Fast Fred in second. Kept going behind them. Desert Quest from Bruce Banner, who's trying to pick up with the orange cap. Goldsby's getting going from the back. The Stripe Jack.
Clansman's up there in the business end, and odds on, Clansman.
2. Fast Fred in the pink cap to the far side, still trying to get there. Bruce Banner is next. Then Goldsby, who continues to stay on. Back towards the final furlong they go, and inside it, Clansman driven furiously up front by 3 parts of a length to Fast Fred, who's still trying to mow him down. Goldsby kept going in third. Clansman responding bravely off the front here inside the final half furlong. Clansman being kept up to his work. Going to go pillar to post. Clansman's made all. Fast Fred in second. Bruce Banner behind from Goldsby, and they were clear of Desert Quest.
Well, pretty amazing how that seems to happen. We back these horses just looking for a dob, and they go on and win. So it just shows that the information you're working with is pretty solid, isn't it? So that horse, if we just bring up the chart, always worth doing, always worth just reviewing the in-play movement of this horse. Yeah, pretty smooth sailing in the end, wasn't it? I mean, this was quite textbook for the type of horse you're looking for this strategy. You want that horse that's going to be a front runner, going to get off to a good start, going to be involved in the business end. We don't necessarily need the horse to win. Of course, it has won in this particular instance, but that ticked all the boxes, and yeah, in the end we got our trade collected. So anyway, yep, good example of a pretty textbook DOB trade. So we got this race just about to start from Chelmsford City at 6:30. We've got 2 horses we're actually looking at, liking the look of, Grand Echo and also Oh So Perfect. So we're gonna have to double check a few things and look to get set up on one of these horses in just a moment. So we're all set up. So we got set up on Grand Echo. Oh So Perfect shortened too much in the meantime. So Grand Echo, we've got some space to move into. Odds of 12, and we're looking for it to halve into odds of 6. Surely not a big ask. But anyway, we're gonna find out very, very shortly, aren't we? Let's see what happens next.
And they're off. Well, rearing up was Frank Alley on leaving the stalls there. Lost it a good ground of about 3 or 4 lengths, as also a little bit slowly away was Electrocution as they head through the first furlong. Oh So Perfect has got the lead with Lady Bergmer out wider. YY.
So Oh So Perfect is in the lead. It's a little bit annoying, isn't it? Anyway, let's see what happens.
Crossbelts. Grand Echo is up there as well.
So Grand Echo is up there. Let's see if we can get our trade.
Noseband has the rail position.
We've had a nibble. We've had a pound taken.
Quite keen to try and get to the front. In between is Grand Echo. Now has to be reined back in behind YY Star. Then comes Warm Waters and the orange colours. The blue of the yellow Crossbelts. Giles Glory's got closer. Lady Bergmer comes next. The pink cap of Starakova. Trucial Pearl is in behind for Joe Mason. The light blue of Black Tango well back. Electrocution also, and the slow starting Frank Alley. So leading is Oh So Perfect by about 1.5 lengths, beginning to swing for home. Pushed along YY's
£2 taken.
Under pressure, Grand Echo. Then in behind runners is Trucial Pearl, who's coming out very wide on the course. Electrocution's there with Giles Glory under strong pressure. Can they catch?
And doesn't look like we're going to get it, but it does look like Oh So Perfect would have been comfortably matched.
Then Trucial Pearl out wider with Giles Glory. It's still Oh So Perfect, who has a fractional lead here from Electrocution. Trucial Pearl down the outside. It's finishing fast up towards the finish. Tight. Did Oh So Perfect just hang on? It seemed that way with Trucial Pearl running on late as well. On the far side, Electrocution, and then Giles Glory and the rest.
So a bit of a frustrating one. Our double or bust trade went bust. So let's have a look at Grand Echo and just get an idea of this and see how low the odds went. We backed it at 12. That was a fair amount. It went as low as 6, which was some of our money, wasn't it? But yeah, there wasn't really that much money flowing around on it, and that can be the issue with backing horses when they are double digits at the start of the race. But anyway, it looked good from the data I was looking at. The horse that really looked good was Oh So Perfect, and that was who I wanted to get involved on, and that would have been a very smooth sailing trade, wouldn't it? But anyway, look, it wasn't to be. It wasn't to be. And it just, yeah, a little bit frustrating, but obviously that's just part and parcel of trading, isn't it? We were going to go for Oh So Perfect. Price shortened out of the range that I was looking for this particular strategy. And we went with a different horse, and that horse was nowhere near. Anyway, that's all part of it. You just got brush yourself off and go again. Remember, it's a 51% plus strike rate that you need when you're using this particular strategy. So I've got more examples coming up, but a quick question for you. Have you done well with the dobbing strategy? Do leave a comment below, because I'm pretty sure there's many that are watching this video who have tried dobbing before. And I know that for some, they love it. For some, they always seem to struggle and end up giving up on it. So anyway, I'd love to hear about your experiences using the dobbing strategy. If you've got any extra tips or tricks that haven't been shared in this video, then also leave those below as a comment to help everyone else out. And as said, this strategy and many, many more are covered in the Racing Trading Playbook. You should absolutely 100% grab a copy of this. You're going to unlock the most popular racing trading strategies. You can see all the strategies laid out step by step, real life examples before your own very eyes, and you can decide which strategy you want to dive deeper into. Okay, and you can see how the many racing traders are turning racing markets into opportunities. Okay, so link is in the description to get a copy of this book, or the easier way is to scan the QR code and put in your details. And as said, it's absolutely free if you get it today, so you've got nothing to lose, and I would strongly suggest doing it right now. As said, the QR code is the easiest way. That way you won't get disconnected from this video and you can keep watching. Let's dive into it. I got more real life examples using the dobbing strategy, and you can see exactly how these trades often play out. So 7:45 at Newcastle. The horse we're liking the look of is this one here, Strox. So it's up here at 12.5. So very often when you go into the double digits, you might have to potentially lower your stakes. It gives you a higher chance of getting matched fully because this is a horse all the way down the pecking order, and the money's more likely going to be concentrated on the upper horses. So it's just something to keep in mind when you are doing double or bust. But anyway, I'm going to get set up on it. We've got another minute or so. So almost ready to go. Just got set up here on Strox. So we're back in Strox at 12, £50 stake, and we lay off at 6 with a £100 stake. Let's see what happens. As I said, bit of a higher price than you might want to go for. But anyway, this horse is expected to run well. So let's see what happens.
They're off. Over 5 furlongs for the Make the Move to Midnight classified stakes. A Lady Forever away well in black and yellow. Also beginning well, Wee Mary towards the right. Breaking well was Desert Master in the red and black with the noseband and black headgear. Strox is prominent to the near side, so too Captain Kinsella under the near side rail. Blue Dandies tucked in behind them with Kip Kelly towards the back of the field. At this stage, asked.
So it's a good start by Strox at the very, very least as well. Just keep your eye on the odds down here.
Kinsella, Strox in the white cheek pieces, 3 deep of those Wee Mary, 4 deep a Lady Forever, and 5 deep Desert Master to the far side is next in the field. They're followed by Kip Kelly inside the...
And we've been matched on Strox, so we've doubled up, and as you can see, that's Strox down there. Let's see how this one finishes.
Kip Kelly in the black and white hoop cap, and near side powering right over the top is Auntie Jo, who's streaking home. Auntie Jo's hit the front. Inside the final 100 yards, Auntie Jo goes on to score to Sir Benedict in second. Kip Kelly was third, and back and forth Captain Kinsella.
So anyway, we made a profit on Strox. Doesn't even sound like Strox even placed in that one at all. I have to double check on that. Anyway, look, it's not really important. We made the profit. Let's have a look at the in-play. Oh, the low odds on Strox was 3.55. So it actually looks like it ran pretty good. We were aiming for 6. As we know, we got matched on 6, but it went even lower than that, 3.55. So actually a good run from Strox, or at least a good run in the markets anyway, is the best way of looking at it. But anyway, that's pretty much the essence of the double or bust, isn't it? You're looking for a horse that is going to run well And yeah, you're either going to double your money or you're going to lose your stake. And in this case, yeah, we doubled our money. We used that £50 stake and we got £50 locked in across all the horses, as you can see. So anyway, that was the 7.45 at Newcastle, and we are out with a profit. So we've got the horses ready to be loaded on this one. 8.15 at Newcastle. The horse we're looking for is, well, the horse we're looking at is Front Gunner. So if we're looking for a front runner, it seems to be quite aptly named. So anyway, will it live up to the name? Let's give it a few moments, then we're going to get set up as close to the off as possible. So just to show you, we are set up on Front Gunner, as you can see, backed around 8.6, 8.8, and laying off, or aiming to lay off, at 4.3. So anyway, 7 furlongs, going to be interesting.
When Civier completes the lineup, they're off, racing over 7 furlongs for the Always Gamble Responsibly at BetMGM Handicap Stakes. Away well is Palace Lord towards the right. Also prominent is Front Gunner with the pink cap, and down the centre, Saison's Door. The grey horse is right up there. Civier to the far side.
So Front Gunner is a front runner so far. Let's see.
Concert Boy. Towards the near side, the white face of Finn Ironside holds sway by a couple of lengths to Phoenix of Dreams. Tucked in behind them towards the near side is Pit Boss, and the one who's tailed off is Raven Craig Castle. Down the straight they come back towards the halfway point. Extreme right is Front Gunner, followed by Saison's Door and Palace Lord. Behind that one over there, Operation Jim Crack. Finn Ironside still prominent to the near side. Just tucked in behind them, near side still travelling well, Phoenix of Dreams, trying to make some ground behind the pace. ARP's a star in the green and yellow colours. Down towards the final couple of furlongs they come. Over on the far side, still right there, Front Gunner. Palace Lord, extreme right. Operation Jim Crack between horses starts to pick up with the yellow cross belts. Towards the near side, kept going is Phoenix of Dreams. So too Finn Ironside with the rail to help. Still
Front Gunner is, well, is up there. We haven't got fully matched though.
Still right there is Front Gunner. Operation Jim Crack to the far side. Concert Boy, extreme far side's trying to finish as well. Concert Boy, Phoenix of Dreams towards the near side, maybe just getting the upper hand. Phoenix of Dreams and Concert Boy as they race towards the line. Concert Boy, Phoenix of Dreams, that's desperate. Pit Boss ran through for third from Finn Ironside and Operation Jim Crack.
So anyway, yeah, interestingly, I mean, the strategy is called double or bust, but well, we didn't quite go to bust, did we? We had some of our stake matched, just not all of it. So actually the loss we're going to take is going to be the £55 rather than the full 100%. So yeah, that can happen from time to time. So a little bit annoying because Front Gunner was the front runner. However, it was probably just one of those races where it was a little bit too much common knowledge that the Front Gunner was going to be the front runner. So in the end, the price just didn't shorten enough. I guess the markets knew that it wasn't going to sustain it. But anyway, look, we didn't take the full loss, and that's good too. So anyway, yeah, we took a loss on this one. Interesting race. So the horses are loading for this one. 7.30 at Chelmsford, and the horse we like is Lexington Jet. We backed Lexington Jet at 7.4 pretty much, so we're looking to lay off at 3.7 as you can see, and those are the odds to keep an eye on. So anyway, they're loading, a little bit delay, so anyway, we'll be right back.
Over 1 mile, Tynecastle City was a little bit slow into stride as they head through that first furlong. Getting away well, Lexington Jets. Royal blue cap now being worn by Rosser.
So that's a good sign, getting away well, Lexington Jet. Let's see if it helps our trade.
Kavanagh. Then up against the rail, Madame de Sauvigny is in about 4th position. Commander of Life, Holly Doyle in the maroon cap is out wider. They're fairly well spread out, so they've gone pretty hard through the first couple of furlongs. The grey who was quite keen at the back is Tynecastle City. He's now trying to settle a bit better. Moonjid towards the back as well in the orange and black colours, Kieran Fallon. So leading is Lexington Jet and Ross Orion, who's certainly been quite free on the front end and leads by about 3 to 4 lengths to him.
So as you can see, our horse is leading 3 to 4 lengths, but hasn't quite shortened yet because obviously the market still don't believe that this horse is going to win. So we got to wait until we get to the business end and see if that shortens the price.
Lexington Jet still leads by a couple of lengths. They're getting a bit closer now. Giant and Commander of Life, who's made a move under Holly Doyle into second place. Moonjit, Kieran Fallon tries to cover that move. Out wide as Castle City is making headway from the back. Then comes Uniting, and Madame de Sevigné is now out the back. Up the home straight, Lexington Jet's kicked again. Commander of Life trying to get past. These two have got a couple of lengths clear from Castle City, Moonjit.
So we got it taken in the end. Lexington Jet is in the business end of this one.
With Commander of Life still putting up the challenge. Lexington Jet finding more for Ross Orion from in second. Commander of Life, fine ride from the front from Ross Orion. Lexington Jet blasts home to in second. Commander of Life, Uniting's in third, chased in by Castle City.
So very interesting one there. Lexington Jet going on to actually win. So very good call on obviously backing Lexington Jet. And then in hindsight, you wonder why you laid off at 3.7. But of course, remember, once we were matched at 3.7, our money was doubled and it didn't really matter what happened with Lexington Jet. But it's also quite interesting to see that Lexington Jet led right from the start of the race and then went on to win the race. But the markets took a little bit of a while to kind of react to that. And if we can actually just bring up the chart on this. Let's have a closer look at the chart on Lexington Jet and just go for the full in play. So this is the price when it started in play, and despite leading, actually drifted initially, went out as high as 12 and only late on began to steam in. So it's just another interesting little facet with the markets when you get these prices, well, horses at this price, 7.4. They lead early on. The markets took a bit of a while to react to it and only really reacted once it was right at the end of the race. So yeah, very interesting. And obviously, yeah, we doubled our money on it. That's great. Yeah, we're out. Double or bust. We doubled in this case. So let's dive right into this rapid racing trading preview so you can get a good idea of what's involved and whether this is something you want to be involved in yourself. So just to be clear, a lot of questions about this. Whether this is in running or pre-race, this is in running strategies only. And you might think, well, why have we gone for in running against pre-race? Well, in running is actually a little bit easier to grasp. There is a huge misunderstanding of in running trading, which we're going to correct in this video and through some of our other videos, and obviously in this course also. And also, look, in running racing is actually simple for both beginners and advanced traders. Anyway, hopefully you've seen some of the videos on the channel so far which give you an idea of in running trading and how it works and how you can execute it yourself. Now, the big question really, if you're watching this video, is the rapid racing trading course, is it for you or is it not? Now, I can quickly safely say this is not for anyone who doesn't have access to the Betfair betting exchange. This is absolutely crucial. And I have had quite a few emails from people who don't have access to Betfair. They're in different countries. So unfortunately, this just won't work very well. We need the liquidity in the racing markets. This is obviously at the same time not for those who are unwilling to invest in software and tools. There's obviously going to be loads of people who say they just want to learn for free. That's absolutely fine. This is not going to be for anyone who's looking for a get-rich-quick scheme. Okay, if you're looking to get rich quick, this is not for you. You're on the wrong channel. And also, if you're not willing to put in the effort to learn and grow, okay, if you're looking for some sort of magic bullet or some magic beans, this is not for you either. Now, who is this for? This is for those who are new or beginners to in-running racing trading. This is fully aimed at those who are beginners. This can also be for those who have dabbled within running racing trading. Maybe you've done a few trades, maybe you've had a few sessions here and there. You haven't really cracked it, you haven't really pursued it. This is definitely for you also. And for those who've just had those mixed results and want to have a solid plan to follow. There are lots of videos, lots of content out there on racing trading, but with this course, we'll give you a solid plan, a solid framework to actually follow and work from, rather than jumping from video to video or just trying to piece it all together. Yeah, this will be the path for you. So what is included? What do you get inside it? So you're going to get 8+ strategies, manual trading strategies which use software, and then also preset trading strategies where you don't need to use the software. It uses the Betfair interface. Maybe those are more aimed at beginners. I'll let you decide on that one. We've got 50 plus real life trading examples of all the strategies. It includes the winning trades. Most importantly, it includes the losing trades and those trades where we get into trouble. And that is absolutely crucial with racing trading. There's quite a lot of those trades where we get into trouble and you can see how it was handled. And every now and then there's the odd disastrous trade also. So you can see exactly your worst case scenario with certain strategies. And it's very important for you to learn this before you start to apply the strategies to the market. So there's all that included. Advanced tools are included also. Later on in the video, we're going to be going and doing an actual look inside of the members area. So you're going to get an even deeper view of all of this. But the bottom line is, just to clear up a few questions we've been getting, there are manual strategies and there are preset strategies. Manual, you're probably going to need to use software. You're going to need to get involved within the race. Preset is where you set up the trade before the race and then you just kind of sit back and see if your trades get matched, okay? Both are included and we'll be going to this into further detail in a moment. And so you're going to get 8 strategies and they're all part of this, the chaos system collection, where we turn the chaos into clarity. So the in-running markets, once the race begins, those markets are absolute chaos. That's usually what scares people away from the in-running markets. However, as said, these systems are designed to take advantage of the chaos and turn it into clarity and turn it into profits. Okay, so we're going to look now at each strategy that's involved. So you've got the K1 system. This is where you start out. This is a back to lay strategy. This is manual trading. This one is going to require some software. And again, similarly, you're taking advantage of the in-running market chaos and you're ideally just getting in and out the market within 60 seconds. Okay, so before the markets get really volatile, you're going to be in and out of the markets with your profit and you're going to be done and let the rest of the race play out. Okay, that's the main idea. So 60 seconds, that's all it takes for a lot of these trades. That's one of the big benefits of racing trading. Also, you're not there for 90 minutes like a football match or something like that. Each race you could be in and out within a minute. Okay, you can do these races, you can do a whole bunch of races within an hour. Okay, so anyway, that's the K1, which is the beginner back to lay strategy that's involved. Then the K2 is a more advanced version of the K1, which is very often the go-to back to lay trading strategy for those who have done this course. Okay, you're going to find your target horse. We obviously show you how to find that target horse. Then you're going to use the trading skills that you've learned inside the course to extract as much profit as possible. As said, the manual trading, definitely you're going to require some software. So anyway, if you are new or you just stumbled upon this video, not quite sure what back to lay trading is, let's check out a little clip of that right now. We're going to do a back to lay trade on this race from Wolverhampton, but we're going to do it slightly different from the other examples you might have seen. So we're going to do a back to lay trade on this horse Golden Muse, which is a clear favorite, and we're going to use software because we're going to be backing Golden Muse very close to the off, and we are going to be searching for our profit target, but also we want to use the software to one click and get out should our potential stop loss be hit. So anyway, we're going to get set up. So lots going on here. We're just about to go off on this one. So we're backing Golden Muse and been a bit of a drift just even in the time we've backed it, which is very annoying. But we're looking to get 25% out of this one. If it drifts out to a 30% or a 40% loss or just in that range, we will press this button and then exit out. But ideally, we want to just hit that profit before we hit our stop loss. Anyway, I think they're ready to go on this one.
They're off and racing.
This
Jumping
event
our
is
opener,
now
the
in
Join the
play.
Midnight Movement restricted novice over 1 mile, 1.5 furlongs on the inside ocean.
So Golden Muse is the front runner as we fought, and we got matched very, very quickly there. So that was interesting. So you can see there, if you can see the pictures, Golden Muse gone right to the front. It was a very, very textbook trade. And obviously there was a bit of a drift. If you play the take back, you'll see there was a drift on Golden Muse before the off, which obviously spooks a lot of people when there is a big drift. But we still knew that Golden Muse expected to be the front runner in this one, so should be a shortening of the price. Anyway, let's keep a close eye on these prices just to see how this race develops a little bit. 6 and 3 at the front two.
Eddie's is in third, running just in advance of Philly Eilish, who also finished third on her debut. That was at Southwell. Final pair, a Difford Girl, and just about last of all, Probation at the moment, Grace McEntee, although moving back up sides Difford Girl at this point. Going to the final 5. Golden.
So the market's really liking Battle Hymn. This is why it's really worth just watching these videos, studying the markets, watching the movement and getting used to it. But look, Battle Hymn is currently second, but was a shorter price. Anyway, looks like it's flip-flopping. Let's see how this one finishes. Going to be interesting.
Is last. Final 3 furlongs. Golden Muse has got plenty on the stretch now in behind. Battle Hymn is coming under increasing amounts of pressure. Philly Eilish looking to squeeze through. Probation looking to run on. Golden Muse, Holly Doyle off the front end, and now starting to kick on a bit. 2 lengths clear as
Golden Muse looks like it's going to win it. So let's see how it finishes.
Battle Hymn's got no more. Probation never quite getting to them, and Golden Muse is pouring it on up top inside the final furlong from the sharp end and is coming right away. Golden Muse will be off of the mark at the second attempt readily. To beat Philly Eilish in second, Probation, Promise stayed on for third, and fourth, Battle Hymn.
This event has been suspended.
So, in the end, Golden Muse, comfortable winner. So it's definitely worth playing this video back. You'll see how the markets developed. Golden Muse was obviously close to evens. Big drift before the off. Anyway, we were on a back to lay trade. We got the back to lay very quickly. Perfect. That was fine. But this was a very interesting race, just generally because of the big drift before the off, the shortening of the price. I think it was Battle Hymn and Probation shortened dramatically, which a lot of people will always think, well, that must be inside money. There must be something wrong with the favourite if it's drifting by that much. Very often, there's nothing wrong at all. If you backed Golden Muse, what was it, 2 to 1, that would have been a very nice price when you consider just how well Golden Muse won. That was not just like he just sneaked through at the last second or something like that. Won by a very wide margin, wasn't it, at the end? Anyway, yeah, interesting race for our back to lay trade, and just an interesting race just for the racing markets in general. One to watch again, I'd say. And just to close this away, and we can have a look at just for those who want to see the Betfair interface and want to see how it looks on there, because obviously this is easier to understand. So as we saw, 2.38 lay, 2.98 back, 2.38 lay. Nice quick trade and an easy win for Golden Muse in the end. And so let's take a look at the third strategy that's included in this one, the K3. So this is a lay to back trading strategy. So not back to lay, lay to back. And with this one, again, we show you how to find the ideal target horses for these lay to backs. Those horses we're expecting to drift when the race begins, and how to position yourself to extract profit, all without taking any sort of silly risks. So I just want to be totally clear on this one. This is not reckless trading where we're getting in the market, we're risking our whole bank to walk away with pennies. Nothing like that at all. We show you how to pick the most ideal horse and how to keep it low risk. The main idea to just get in and out very quickly, extracting a quick 10% out of the horse, okay? Then we've got the more advanced version of this with the K4, another later back, more advanced. With this, it's going to require a little bit more skill, and you're going to remain in the market to try and extract even bigger profits, okay? And you're going to be learning how to cut those losers short, how to race the winners and collect a full profit. The main idea, as always, with these strategies is always to keep your risk and your exposure low. And we show you exactly how to do that, how to protect your bank. No wild risks with any of this, okay? So it's all about just picking up that skill. We show you exactly how to do that and how to find those most ideal horses for the lay to back strategies. Anyway, let's dive into a quick couple of examples of the lay to back strategy, just so you've got an idea of what this strategy is all about. So we're getting close to the off on this one, and we wanted to do a lay to back on this particular horse. The great thing about the software is we can see immediately where our bets should be. So we're going to put that in and press keep. So we're doing a later back.
This event starts in 30 seconds. In 30 seconds.
We're doing a later back on this horse. We're looking for 10%. We just want to be in and out very, very quickly. at the start of the race on this one. Obviously, it's a big liability. We don't really want to hang around till the business end. That's the main idea. So you want to be in and out very quickly, take our 10%.
10 seconds.
And then move on. So anyway, just about to go off. We'll be right back.
The yellow and orange jacket is among those prominent, with Willful in the pink and green, Jubilee Alpha
So we're underway. Let's keep an eye on this horse here, Carbow.
behind the leading line, was a bit awkward at the first flight. Pale jacket with a pink cap. He's
And there you are. We've got our 10% locked in right away. A little bit more on the Carbow. You could just press that one click to green it up. And we're done within, what, 25 seconds. Okay, let's have a quick look at the race and just see how it pans out a little bit.
as they make the long run between the first couple of flights. So Betty, Willful in the pink and green, and Jubilee Alpha are the leading three. Tracked by Undawi and Cracking Rhapsody and Bowmore out wide in the brown and light blue.
And so it's always worth just keeping an eye on the horse you took on. I mean, we saw an immediate just little drift in the price. That's what we took advantage of. And we were out very, very quickly. So looks very, very easy. I wish all the trades were as easy as this, but that's kind of the idea. You're identifying a horse which is going to get off to a potential slow start. And in such a big field and such a long race, it's more likely to drift than it is to steam in the early stages. Remember, we laid this at 6. Now look at the price. It still hasn't really shortened. And of course, remember, you know, on the software you've got one click. So if it does start to move against you without you potentially getting your trade, maybe that horse goes right to the front, you could have you could just exit and try and minimize the loss. But anyway, in out very, very quickly. Nice later back trade. As said, I wish they were all as easy as this. And just to show you, you can also see how it looks on the Betfair interface also. Okay, so that's all locked in. So yeah, lay at 6, out at 6.8, in and out, 10 seconds, or roughly that. And we made that 10% profit. So all done. Let's let the horses race the race after this. So you see now the back to lay and the lay to back strategies, which are the manual trading strategies. So those are the strategies you'd have to build up some skills, tend to use software on during the race. Now, from what I gather with the emails we've been getting, not everyone wants those manual strategies. There's quite a lot of you who actually like the strategies we're going to look at now, which are the preset trading strategies. These are strategies where we're going to take our position before the race, set up the bet, set up the trades, and then it is a matter of seeing if your trades get matched. It's hands-free once those trades are placed, okay? So that's what we move on to. That first strategy is going to be the K50 system. As said, you don't need software for these strategies at all. It's just a matter of seeing if your trade is completed. A lot of people like these preset trading strategies. Great for beginners. It takes the pressure also out of the trade. So anyway, we start you off with the K50 strategy, and you're going to learn that. Then we move on to the K100, which is pretty much the dobbing, and we've covered dobbing in another video on this channel, which you could obviously check out if you want to for further details, but that's included also, and you're aiming for a 100% return on your stake. Very, very popular. Most importantly, we obviously show you how to pick out the very best target horses for this. Not just the target horses, the target courses, the course lengths to look for, and how to basically avoid the duds. Okay, you need a strike rate above 55% to succeed with this, and we give you everything you need to get it to 55%, 60%, 70% if you can. Okay, so anyway, from there we've also got the K200, and these are the strategies that I start to really like the look of, the more aggressive ones. And these tend to be used more when the ideal trading conditions and setups arise. And the best way to look at this is that you've got a collection of strategies. You've got a portfolio of strategies, and you're going to look at each race and you're going to think, well, okay, this race is good for K50. This is good for a K200. Next race is good for a K100. Okay, it's not one strategy fits every course. It's more a way of looking at a race, deciding which strategy you should apply to that race. Okay, it's the best way of looking at it. But anyway, you've got the K200 in there, and then you've got the KX, which is definitely, well, this is back to lay. preset trading strategy, but it's a little bit more different. But anyway, I can't get into too much details of how it works obviously on here, but this is more advanced. And just to give you an idea, this profit was made using a stake of £25, landed a profit of 225 in the end. Okay, so that's a great strategy, and most importantly, everything is laid out for you step by step. No stone is left unturned with all of this. You're going to learn everything. You're going to learn the framework. You're going to learn how to pick out the horses, how to pick the right courses, the courses to avoid, the horses to avoid. You're going to learn all of that. You're going to learn where to get the very best information before you get involved in these races, so you're not guessing, you're not hoping. We show you all of that, okay? And that's alongside all this, the 8+ strategy variations, the manual trading strategies, the preset trading strategies, the 50+ real life trading examples, the advanced tools, and yeah, much more. So as I said, these are the preset trading strategies, and just in case you're not totally clear on what a preset trading strategy is, let's give you a quick example of that. So we're just about to get set up on this one, 6:45 at Newcastle, a few more minutes to go on it. We were liking the look of this horse, Beale Street. Also in the running was Fan Mail also, but we are just about going to go with Beale Street. So unless something crazy happens in the next few minutes, we'll be getting set up on Beale Street and we'll be trying to double our money. Let's see what happens. So we are now set up. On this, we can see we backed Beale Street at 7 and we've got the odds in at 3.5. I'm going to have to tweak that, just realized. All right, let's update that. Good thing that's why you double check your bets, isn't it? So okay, we are now ready to go, pretty much. Let's see what happens.
Thanks, Callum. We're set. They're all in, they're ready and off. They race over 6 furlongs for the Midnight Dropping, the betting game handicap Division 1. Good start to the far side by Irish Nectar, also away well Almirado Prince. Not a great deal of pace under restraint, those horses on the far side. Near side Emperor Caradoc with a good sit, and Kajetan just behind him in company with the grey horse Novak. Also towards this side Ratia, the green man's over this side. More in the centre of the track is Beale Street and Fortimore, and then the far side headed by Almirado Prince with Irish Nectar and Juanle.
So remember, this is the horse we're watching. This is R1 Beale Street. Not the greatest start, but anyway, still time. Let's see what happens.
To Almirado Prince in the royal blue and yellow check with the yellow cap. Juanle Pan right behind them, the red cap with the noseband, and the red and black jacket of Kajetan next. Emperor Caradoc
getting close and taken.
Over on the far side, the pale jacket of Fan Mail trying to get into top gear. Furlong and a half out.
He must be pushing hard. Beale Street went pretty short in price there, but let's see what happens.
Just behind them, Beale Street's trying to pick up. Emperor Caradoc near side, the green man from off the pace. Inside the furlong they go. Juanle Pan in front, being tackled by Emperor Caradoc, and Beale Street to the far side, finishing well. And Beale Street getting up to score. To Juanle Pan in second. Tight behind, the green man finished well. Went past in company with Emperor Caradoc for third.
Well, I'm not sure how that happened. Beale Street actually went and won it. So Beale Street looked out of it. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at this, the in-play chart on this. Yeah, you'll have to play that back and just see what happened there. But yeah, it got off to a slowish start. We can actually see the replay here, if it's showing on the screen for you. Yeah, very interesting stuff. So it looked like it was out of it. Drifted out to the 18. Yeah, incredible. Anyway, look. Anyway, we weren't even in this looking for the winner. We were looking for the dob. We were looking for the double or bust. And I thought it was going to be one of those examples of getting the winner and then the horse just drifted out, because I think we got matched. If we can see on the chart, well, that's in the way, isn't it? But anyway, we got matched and then it drifted out as high as 18 before coming back to win. So anyway, look, we got the profit on this. That's all that matters. Double or bust. Nice profit there on Beale Street. So as said, this course covers both the manual strategies and the preset strategies. You might be looking at this thinking you just want to do the manual strategies because you want to have more control. You might be looking at this saying you just want the preset strategies because you want to kind of take the pressure off, just set up those trades, kick back and enjoy the race. Or you might want both, okay? As said, every race has its own setup, and every race can be a qualifier for at least one of the strategies that are in this collection. So anyway, if you like what you're seeing, you don't yet have an invite for this, or you're not on an invite list, then there should be a link in the description of this video to get on the invite list for this. Okay, it's not always open, it's only open at certain times of the year. We tend to only open this course when the flat racing season is in its full swing. So you very often have to wait for that, depending on when you're watching this video. But if you're liking the look of this and you do want to get an invite to join and get involved in it, then the link is in the description. Just put in your very best email address and get on the waiting list for this is the very, very best advice I can give you. The next step we're going to do right now is we're actually going to take a look inside at the members area, so you can see that, well, you can see exactly what you're going to get once you become a member of Rapid Racing Trading. Let's get into that right now. So this is how the members area looks for Rapid Racing Trading when you first log in. So you've got the Rapid Racing Trading Gold, which is pretty much everything we're showing you in this video today. There is the higher level Rapid Racing Platinum, but we're not going to get into that in this video today. There's obviously much more included in that. And then there's also the toolbox, but we'll take a look at this, and we'll just click on Rapid Racing Trading Gold so you can get an idea of what is included and how everything is set up. So you've got the modules here, the beginning modules that you want to start with. The mindset module, always very important. Lots of people always skip that. The analysis module, where you're going to learn how to analyze the racing market and how to pick out your target horses. Okay, this is the crucial part that a lot of people often get stuck on is, well, which horse do we get involved in? Which horses do we avoid, etc. That's all covered in the analysis module. Then you've got the technical module, which pretty much teaches you how to trade, not necessarily the strategies, how to actually trade, some of the techniques that are involved. And then scrolling down, you've got the chaos system, which is going to have all the strategies. And then there's another video here talking about the next steps. But anyway, let's click in to let's have a look at the mindset module, just so you can get an idea of the type of videos that are included in this. So you've got all the videos, and as you can see, there's lots of videos, but they're all short and sharp. So you can just check out each lesson, just get to grips with it, and yeah, you can pretty much learn the mindset. And it's always worth learning the mindset. I know a lot of people always skip this part, but once you do get the mindset behind the trading and you kind of understand what it is you're trying to do, it makes everything so much easier moving forward. But anyway, yeah, it's just a matter of press and play on the videos and you can check those out. So let me try and go back the quick way if I can. So that's the mindset module. Let's have a look at the analysis module. And this is obviously going to be the bit which a lot of people find a bit more fun, isn't it? So strategy foundations are covered, how to identify your target horses, the race format foundations, the field size fundamentals. Obviously the field size is pretty crucial to your strategies. When it's too small, it's not good. When it's too big, it's also not good in many, for many strategies, of course. How to analyze those market profiles, because another underrated or understated thing about the racing markets is it's also the market profiles. You've got those markets where you might have one strong favorite at the front. You might have two strong favorites. You might have a market where there's no favorite at all. These markets should all be traded in different ways. So like I said earlier on, this isn't a matter of picking one strategy, just using that strategy on every single race. It's more a case of looking at the race, deciding which strategy, which tool applies to that race. And also just showing you market profiling at a glance. We go for a whole bunch of races and you can almost just pick them out within a few seconds. Once you know what you're looking for, you can just kind of scan through, say, well, okay, this race probably for this strategy, this race is for this one, and so on. We move on. We've got common mistakes to avoid. We've got how to use some of the best websites to pick out your target horses, and so on. So that's inside the analysis, and obviously this is all crucial stuff. This is the stuff you're not really going to get on YouTube. Not many traders are really going to reveal this on YouTube. This is all the type of stuff which is inside the course. And then we've got the technical module. Let's click into this. So for those who are nervous about using the trading software, we do show you how to get set up with BetAngel. Very, very quick, very, very fast, simple stuff also with regards to the trading. If you know how to trade on the Betfair interface, it's not that much more complicated at all. But we show you that. We show you some other stuff as well. So, I mean, what can I give you more details on here? Race reading, that's absolutely crucial. As said, for the manual traders, there's certain stuff you've got to look out for in the race. When certain things happen, it could be your cue to exit the trade. When certain things happen, it could be your cue to stick with the trade even longer. So race reading, absolutely crucial. Price surge technique, the free bet technique, lots of fun to be had with these techniques. I obviously can't exactly tell you what they are. Some of them are, as they say, how to create a free bet. But anyway, it's all in there. It's all in there. So you can obviously check these out. And as said, it's all just press and play on the videos. And you can click on this to enlarge the videos also. Don't quite want that. But anyway, that will enlarge it and you can check it out from there. So you've got quite a lot to get through there, which is full of golden nuggets before you even get onto the strategies. And so let's dive onto it. Obviously, I've shown you the strategies already, but we go through some introductions to the strategies and then you've got the strategies themselves, okay? As said, these are your manual trading strategies. These are your preset trading strategies. And let me just give you an idea of how a typical strategy page looks. Okay, you've got the main tutorial video for the strategy. You're just going to press play on that one. You can see it's very, very detailed, as you can see. You've got this button also, which says the most ideal courses for the strategy. You would click on this and it would reveal those courses. I'm not going to do that right now. We want to protect the information for the members. And then look, you've got the video library showing these, this strategy being used. This one is across, wow, look at that. Okay, so it says 15. It's actually 18, isn't it? So that's not quite right. Yeah, there's about 18 trades there, even though it goes up to number 15. So we'll probably get that fixed. But you got an idea of just how detailed this course is, okay? And you can see why it's such great value for money. You're getting all these strategies and then all these trading demonstrations. And as said, it's the winning trades, but it's the losing trades also. And those trades where maybe we get out with a scratch trade or something like that. Those are absolutely crucial. And with racing trading, knowing how to handle those races which go against you, absolutely crucial. Okay, so yeah, that's just an idea of one of the strategies. I'm not going to click through on all of them because I know, well, I'm pretty sure you get the idea, isn't it? It's going to be the same for all these other strategies. What else can we look at? Yeah, we can. Well, we're not going to cover platinum, but we will cover the toolbox, which is available. And there's some tools in there which you can pick up also, whether you need them or you don't need them. Okay, not everyone needs them, which is why it's available separately. There's the quick pick tool. More information will come on that. The rapid racing calculator, which is pretty cool also. And actually, we could just click into that and probably get an idea of that right now. So this would give you an idea for a back to lay. So the back price, let's say we enter the back price at 10. And it's going to give you an idea with your back to lay trade. If we're aiming for 10%, we immediately know that we're going to lay at odds of 9. If we wanted to go for, say, 30%, we're going to lay at £7.60, and that's our lay stake there, automatically calculated. If we're going for 50%, we know straight away we can go for odds of 6.8, and that's our exit lay stake. Okay, so this is a great little tool also, and it works the same on a lay to back. So if we're going to enter with that lay price and we're going to lay here, and let's say we're aiming for 25%, it's a lay at 5, and then we're going to back at 6.8 with that amount, and we're going to lock in 25%. So that's a great tool also, and this is all available at checkout if you want to add it. If you don't need it, then you don't have to add it. Okay, it's great flexibility there. But anyway, this is a nice little look inside of the rapid racing trading course. So anyway, I hope this video has helped you in your decision with regards to whether or not rapid racing trading is for you or not. It's not going to be for everyone. I'm fully aware of that. But if it is for you, or it looks like it is for you, or you at least just want to learn more, then the link is in the description. You can get on the waiting list for it. It's not open all year round, but if you want to get on the waiting list, then click the link in the description. Possibly you're watching this video because you already have an invite. If you've already got an invite and you like the look of what you see, then make sure you sign up before your invite expires. But anyway, if you're on the waiting list, once your email is submitted, we're going to send you further details and there will be an invite sent out at the next opening. So that's the best way to do it. As said, the link is in the description. While you're here, if you want to learn more about racing trading, then the video on the screen right now should be the very next step. You can check out a whole bunch more real life trading demonstrations and dive even deeper into the very fun world of racing trading. Click on that video and we'll see you in the next video.